Songbird Blooms, and I'm here today to show you guys how to make a cute little wood flower covered board that you can use for either a mini calendar or for pictures, which could go in any direction, and you have all sorts of options with this board. So here's what you need to make this project. You will need an assortment of wood flowers, depending on how much you want to put on there. Anywhere from 3 to maybe 9 flowers is perfect in varying sizes. You probably don't want to go too big. And then you will need a wood board like this. So I left this one just the natural wood color, although like my option that I had here, you can also stain it as well. And then other items you will need are greenery, right? You don't even need a ton, just lots of little leaves, pieces that are maybe left over from something else you've done. Fillers, so any kind of filler you want. Today I'm going to use some of this wheat. Of course you're going to need your hot glue gun, maybe some wire cutters, probably not the wire cutters so much, maybe some scissors, and then of course optional if you want, either twine to hang this, or you can lean it against a wall, or you can glue a little thing on the back so that it will stand up straight. Dollar Tree also has some little just picture holders you could pop this in. And then the other piece is the bulldog clip, or you can use double-sided tape, or even just glue to glue that picture on when you are done. Depends if you want it to be permanent or you want it to be something that you can change out easily, which the bulldog clip is great for. So now that I've showed you the supplies, let me change the camera angle and show you how to make this. Okay, so now that you can see up a little closer, I just want to show you there's a couple different options of how you can make this. So this version, I just did one larger clump of flowers on the side, and you'll notice that in this case, I kind of spread the flowers out, and I had the bigger one, and then I had some more medium-sized ones. I did across from each other and across from this one, and then I stuck in some little flowers to just fill in some of those gaps. So in this style, you're not going to squish the flowers too tight together. You're going to lay a couple flat, a couple angled, and then use fillers and other fun things just to fill in any gaps. There's a nice base of leaves on this one. So the leaves are the first thing that I laid down, and then I built the flowers and then added the fillers on top. So this is one option. But you can choose to hold your board in a different way as well. So you can do your board horizontally, or you can do your board vertically. And so you want to think, if you're going to put a picture on it, or you're going to put a little mini calendar, you just kind of want to think about where you want the picture. So if I want my picture on the top and the flowers in the bottom, or maybe I want my picture in the middle and I want to do some flowers on the corners, that's another option as well. And if you want to hold it horizontally, it's the same thing. So you can choose to do that picture in the center if you want, up and down this way, and put the flowers wherever. So it's kind of one of those things you want to think about first, is where do you want to put your picture. So I'm going to aim to put my picture somewhere in the center. Obviously it's not just going to be my business card, but for now that's what I had lying around. So I'm going to kind of keep that in mind just when I'm thinking about where I want to put my flowers. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my leaves. And so I just pulled this right off a larger bush of greenery, and I could just lay it down here, but it's going to stick up funny. So it's one of those things where you're probably going to want to pull your leaves off, and you can just cut them, or you can break these apart, or there's actually a part on the back that's got a little bit of plastic. Sometimes with a project like this, I actually will just pull that right off the backing, since we're going to be gluing it down to the board anyway. I'm getting rid of that and having my leaves kind of look a little bit easier to use. So in this case, I'm going to want to angle my leaves potentially sort of down around the corner of the flower, or of the photo. I'm going to do the same thing with my leaves for the opposite side. So I'm just going to pull it off the backing. Again, you don't have to do that. I'm just choosing to, just so I have a nice flat surface to work from. And I'm going to angle some right down here as well. Now notice I'm not gluing anything yet. I'm just sort of placing and thinking, like, is this where I want these? It looks a little uneven, so I might move this up a little. Okay, I move my picture for now because I've got the idea that that's where this is going to go. So next I'm going to play with my flowers and sort of decide what's the sort of style or arrangement that I want. I'm looking at these flowers and I'm thinking I might want to do the pretty rose towards the top, but then again it's gonna be hanging on a wall, and so I don't know, will I see that one? Maybe I also want that one down this way, just so I can see it a little bit better. And then I'm gonna take one of the mauve and kind of sneak it in here and just place it for now and see if I like it. I've got this taupe colored one, and so these can actually fit nice, like a little triad together. So I might do that sort of traditionally, but then I've got some of these little flowers that I might want to sneak into. So we're gonna wait and see. I might change it up just a little bit. And then I've got this pretty cool one that I think I want to showcase here. So I'm gonna do something a little different. I might kind of do this more flat and then sort of sneak a couple other flowers in around it, or maybe, yeah, I think so. And we'll just kind of see, like maybe I'll do a couple of the little mauve ones. So instead of doing 3, I'm doing 4 over here, just to give that idea. Oh yeah, I totally like that. So it's good to look at the angles. So I think on this one, I might sneak a little flower in even over here, but I kind of don't know if I like that. I might leave it as is, or maybe I'll try this right in the center. This is why I don't want to glue anything until I have definitely decided what my arrangement's gonna look like. Yeah, so I'm gonna leave this one out. I don't like it as much. I want to leave this one as the 3 because it just looks good together. I've got the 4 down there. If I wanted, I could add, you know, another flower in, but for now I might just leave those out. So if I've kind of got this vision going, right? So I think now, once I have this, I'm good to glue sort of the base down. And so if you have a really complicated arrangement, my trick is to snap a photo of it from above, and that way you won't forget if you move everything. But this is pretty simple because it's just 3 and 4. So I'm gonna just clump these together and move them right off the board, and I'm gonna glue my leaves down. So with your hot glue, you know, I'm not gonna be needing a ton. It's a pretty light leaf, so I'm gonna kind of just pop it down there. And I only actually glued the top part. I'm leaving this part just a little looser feeling. I didn't necessarily want to have it all be completely down. So once I've glued this base leaf down, then I'm ready to kind of bring this clump back in. And so I know that this purple is going to be my main one. So I just saw where it was. I'm going to put a little glue there on the board, and I'm going to pop it down. If you've got hot glue strings, you can hit them with a hairdryer later and melt them, or just kind of pull them off yourself. And so then these little guys are going to come right in here. So I'm always going to turn and just find where does it fit best. Just like always an angle that just feels right. So again, I'm going to put a little glue down here on the board. I might put a little glue even up on this flower that it's attaching to, just to help give it a little more stability. And then I might come in and glue a little bit between the flowers just to make sure we're good. And then we're going to find that right angle for the next flower when it comes in. So I found it because it almost fits like a puzzle. Sometimes I just glue a little on each flower and then down on the leaf and board. And then we're going to pop this flower back in. Hot glue dries fast, but not too fast, so you always want to hold it just for a second. Make sure that it's really glued down good. So I know that I can see a few spots where if I really get down in there, I can see some gaps, but no worries, that's where we're going to use filler and some more greenery to fix. So same thing here, we're just going to move these flowers off because it's just a little square, and then we're just going to glue our leaves down. So I'm going to put a little glue on the board, place these right back here. There we go. And then this was sort of my first flower that I placed, and I felt like that was the one I wanted to showcase. So this is a nice flat flower. Just going to put some glue on the bottom of it. I'm going to place it right down. Hold it for a second. Come in with my next flower, and again, just find the right angle where it just fits the best, because it's a little bit of a pointy flower. It's not going to bud up perfectly, but I can still sometimes find the spot that it just works. So we're going to add some glue on the bottom. I'm not adding it on the underside of everything, just in the very bottom, because that's the part that I'll touch. And then we're going to hold it. It'll dry pretty fast. So then we're going to sneak in with the little guys. And again, just kind of want to see where do they fit best. Add a little glue. Come on in. Drop your flower. We're good. So I'm going to sneak this last guy in over here. Same thing, just a little bit of glue. If you glue this down and later you're like, oh my god, no. Well, hot glue is not the world's most permanent thing. You could absolutely pull something off as long as you're going to put something over it, because it will leave some residue. So as you can see right now, we've got the basic start of our board, and it's cute, and our picture still will fit in the middle, whichever way I want to do it. Yeah, maybe diagonal. I might not have left myself enough room, but so you might want to leave your picture there just to make sure, or if I don't mind, I can always put the picture over the leaves, or I could go a little bit under the leaves. Probably could have snuck this one back just a little bit more. So you might even want to lightly just draw the outline of where your picture is going to go. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to come in with some more fun fillers. So I've actually got a little bit of this greenery, and it comes on these long bunches, but I'm not going to leave it like that. I'm actually just going to pull it right off. So these little pieces will just pop off. This is the great thing about a lot of greenery. And so it's like you got this little bit on the bottom there that I will probably cut off unless I can hide it. So it just depends where it's going. So this one will hide pretty well, so I actually don't need to cut that one. And I might come in over here, same thing, and just kind of mirror that a little bit and just play with the angles. And then I'm going to sneak over here. And I'm always going to want to look, right? You want to just see, where do you see gaps? Because there's always that chance that someone else might see that gap too. So I'm going to come over here. I might even hang it a little bit off the board, or I might cut this a little bit shorter, or glue it so that it sneaks this. I'm going to sneak this one kind of up and around there. And then I think we're going to break this one apart. And you can use scissors or a wire cutter. This is just plastic, so you could easily just do that with not much really, with just your hands probably. And I'm going to just check out those pieces. Yeah, so I like this. So since I like where I place these, now I'm free to glue. So I'm just going to sneak in here, add a little glue, push it in. It's really lightweight stuff, so it doesn't need a lot of glue, just enough. This one will be a little trickier because I kind of molded it in, so I'm going to kind of work my glue around the flower. And I'm going to put it back in and then hook it back under. And I think we're good there. And then over here, these ones almost will hold themselves because there's just a lot of space. So a little more extra glue here just because I've got to get it in a little bit deeper. And this one's got the pretty berries, so I like that it's showcased over here. And again, this could almost already just be kind of perfect on its own. I don't mind it as is. But my theory is you can never add too much filler. So we want to think maybe what other touches we add. So I've got some really pretty pink stuff over here, and it comes in these long pieces, which is probably a bit much to just like stick on here. So I'm actually just going to rip off the little berries and sneak them in to some little spots between the flowers. So again, just a little dab of glue and pop it in. You can place all of these before just to make sure that you really like where they're going. I think I actually want to add 2 there just to give a little bit more. These are just perfect to sneak in spots. Like I can see that I have a spot here in the back where if someone were to look, I could see that it needs a little filling. So I'm actually going to take some of the greenery that came with this, and I just broke it apart. I'm going to glue that in. It's going to be real low. It's not going to stick up a ton. It's more just to hide, you know, where we might have brought some flowers together, where we might have had a little bit of glue. Yeah, and then we're going to add some of this pink stuff right in over it. And put one there. And maybe just bring another one in over here as well. Hold on, hon. And then we're good to go. And so the last thing I do is maybe want to add a little bit of this pink down on this other side as well. So I'm going to take this piece that has 2, and then I'm just going to sort of see like where is a good spot for it. Where do I want it to go? I think I need to break it apart just a little bit. It's probably too much in that big piece, but I can sneak a little spot in right there just to add a little pop of pink. And do that again, just maybe down here, like that opposite thing going on. I can tell it's got a little spot there. You might want to hide something. We're kind of good there. Really push it in, get the hot glue strings out of the way. If you want to use a little bit of green somewhere, like I have this little spot here where I could just kind of like sneak something in and just pop the glue in, pop the greenery in. I'm just gonna push it in there just a little, and it's just gonna be a smidgen of it just peeking up right there as well. And then the last part I was thinking of adding was some of this wheat. And I'm not sure if I want to still add it, but we're gonna just kind of see what it looks like and see if we like it. So I'm just gonna cut off a few pieces. I don't really want a long piece necessarily, just something kind of short. And I'm gonna kind of play around with this idea of adding in some of the wheat to give it a rustic look. And actually, you know what, now that it's here, I think I kind of like it. I'm just not sure how long I want it to be necessarily. I don't know if I really want it to stick on the picture either, so I might do some shorter pieces coming in so I can just kind of break it up so it's not too long and kind of stick it in a little, and just to give it that little bit of a rustic edge, make it a little less neat. Yeah. So I'm probably gonna add a little more wheat even down there as well. So I'm just gonna sneak a little hot glue right where I put that. Guide those pieces right back into there. And then same thing, I think I want a little bit more where I just put some on the edge over here. So pull those pieces out, gather them together. And you can sometimes put glue on it first, but I'm gonna just sneak some glue right there. Push the greenery aside, kind of sneak this in. And if you don't like it, it's still drying, so it won't take much effort to just pull out a piece that you feel like doesn't really fit perfectly. There we go. Let me just add a little bit more wheat on here as well. So this is kind of a messy filler, but this will come off later. So I'm gonna add a little bit down here as well, just to complete the look. And with the hot glue, you could always use a wire or a toothpick just to poke things down if you don't want to get a little bit of a hot glue burn. And so same thing, I think we're just going to add a little bit of this wheat up here, not a ton, just sneak some in right up here. Kind of let it be the less put together piece, so just a little bit flinging out there. Trying to keep some of my pieces more the same length, nothing that's too long. There we go. And I bunch this together into a cute little piece, and we're just gonna sneak it in here because there's a lot of green leaf, so it'd just be good to have a little something to break that up. Blow off all my extra pieces. And then now you can see we have this nice finished piece that just has a lot of character and dimension. So you can't really go wrong as long as you're placing all of your pieces for the start and just kind of seeing, is this the right place that I want it, you're good to go. And so all you could do now is just add your cute little picture back in the center, or again, you could do flowers all down the side, you could do a little border, you could just do one corner, you could do the larger piece on one side that leaves a lot more room for a photo over here as well. And so the last step for me is just going to be getting a bulldog clip and deciding, I think I actually might do 2 smaller photos. I'll probably print some 4x6s, a little bit smaller photos, and do one here and maybe up here as well. So we'll see, I'm not sure. This would be really fun to add if you have a Cricut or a silhouette at home. You could add a little writing to them as well. So here is your wood board. Have fun playing with your flowers and creating your own unique arrangement.